This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the morning of Thursday, January 16th, 2025. I'm Alex Brown. Indiana State University President Mike Goddard says he'll continue to focus on growing community partnerships and student enrollment as he celebrates 6 months leading the university. Goddard adds that giving students more work-based learning opportunities will create a talent pipeline that serves Indiana's workforce needs.
Critical for us moving forward is to focus on strategic enrollment growth, focus on making sure that we have the level of community engagement with business and industry and other constituents. And honestly, if we do a good job at those two things, then we'll have a positive impact on the workforce needs and demands and be a driver of the economy for the state of Indiana.
Since Goddard took office in June, ISU has broken ground on its largest capital improvement project in school history and opened labs focused on cybercrime and esports. Huntingburg-based Superior Ag has acquired the Summit River Terminal along the Ohio River in Rockport with plans to further develop the site. The Agriculture Cooperative says it is investing more than $20 million to build a 32,000-ton dry fertilizer distribution facility on the property and add up to 20 jobs. The project is slated to begin early this year and take 12 to 18 months to complete. Indianapolis-based industrial weighing and calibration services company System Scale is adding to its portfolio with the acquisition of Premier Scales and Systems in Evansville. Financial terms of the deal are not being disclosed, but a spokesperson for System Scale said all 35 of Premier's employees will be retained and become employee owners. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
To succeed, you need to stay informed. You need to be engaged. And let's face it, you need to set yourself apart from the rest by connecting with a company that brings you the best. Because in today's environment, business is an ever-moving target, and we'll help you chase it. IBJ Media. The best of business is in us. Get started at ibjmedia.com/youngprofessional.
Aligned with one of Governor Mike Braun's economic development policies, a new bill would create a state office specifically to provide resources to small businesses. Here's Gary Dick.
House Bill 1172, authored by Representative Jake Teschka of North Liberty, would create the Office of Entrepreneurship and Innovation. The new office would be tasked with developing and administering programs to support small business, entrepreneurship, and innovation in the state. That according to the bill. As the bill is currently written, the office would be separate from the Indiana Economic Development Corporation and report to the governor. However, Teschka told our partners at the IBJ he intends to tweak the language so the office is housed under Secretary of Commerce David Adams, who also oversees the IEDC. While the creation of the office would be aligned with Governor Mike Braun's economic development policies, Teschka says the bill was drafted before the now governor released his agenda. Several current programs related to starting a business would be shifted from the IEDC's oversight to the new office. That includes the Certified Technology Park program, the Venture Capital Investment Tax Credit, the Connected in Indiana Interactive Portal, the 21st Century Technology Fund, and several other grant and business assistance programs. The Indiana Chamber supported the creation of such an office in its legislative priorities outlined last week. The office would need about $1.8 million in state funding for staff salaries and operations, that according to the bill's fiscal note. About 10 full-time employees would staff the office, although the state may take advantage of the 6 vacant positions at the IEDC to offset new personnel costs. The fiscal note does not include the anticipated cost of programming. This is Gary Dick for Inside Indiana Business Radio.
A proposal to amend the Indiana Constitution to open the pool of attorneys available to serve as town and city court judges unanimously cleared a State House committee yesterday. House Joint Resolution 1 was approved by the legislature last year, but as a constitutional amendment, it must clear 2 separate sessions of General Assembly before voters get a chance to vote on the change in a referendum. The Indiana Constitution currently requires a city or town court judge to reside in the city where the court is located. The resolution would allow the judge judges to live in the county in which the town is located. The resolution, which would apply to the state's 54 city and town court judges, is now headed to the House floor for consideration. The measure must also clear the Senate to become eligible for a voter referendum in 2026. Trendy Minds founder Trevor Yeager is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.